I don't know when I became a monster. I say it out loud, my voice low but steady. But I know I was one. I stare at my reflection in the window. My eyes don't look weak. They don't look broken. They look hard. And maybe that's the problem. You think this is strength? I mutter. Or just control without care? Silence answers me. I turn away and walk into the living room. Ava is sitting on the floor, quietly drawing. Mira is in the kitchen. Everything looks normal. But I know what I used to be. What are you drawing? I ask. Ava freezes for a second. Then she slowly turns her paper toward me. It's us, she says softly. I look at it. 3 stick figures. One is standing far away. That's me? I ask. She nods without looking at me. Why am I so far? I ask. She hesitates. Then she whispers, because you're always far. My jaw tightens. I don't shout. Not this time. I kneel down instead. I'm right here, I say. She doesn't respond. That hurts more than anything. Mira walks in. You're home early, she says carefully. Yeah, I reply. She studies my face. Everything okay? I'm working on it, I say. She frowns slightly. Working on what? Myself, I answer. She doesn't laugh. She doesn't believe me either. You've said that before, she says. I know, I reply. And nothing changed, she adds. I nod. I know that too. Silence fills the room. Then Ava's pencil drops. The small sound echoes louder than it should. She flinches. That's when it hits me. Art. Why did you flinch? I ask quietly. She looks at Mira instead of me. It's okay, Mira says softly. Go to your room, Ava. Ava gets up quickly and leaves. I watch her go. Then I turn to Mira. Why did she react like that? I ask. Mira crosses her arms. You really want to ask that? Yes, I say. She looks at me for a long second. Because she's scared of you, she says. I don't move. Don't say it like that, I reply. How should I say it, she asks. She's afraid when you're loud. When you're angry. When you're you. I'm not always like that, I say. She raises an eyebrow. No? When are you not? I don't answer. Because I can't. You shout more than you speak, she continues. I look down. You drink more than you listen, she adds. I clench my fists. I'm providing for this family, I say. And destroying it at the same time, she replies instantly. That hits. Art. I'm trying, I say. Trying what? She asks. To justify it? No, I reply. To fix it. She laughs quietly. Fix it? You think this is something you can fix overnight? I didn't say overnight, I say. Then when? She asks. I stay silent. Because I don't have an answer. That night, everything breaks. Again. Ava drops a glass. It shatters on the floor. The sound is sharp. Loud. For a second, everything is still. Then I feel it. That old anger rising. What did you do? I snap. Ava freezes. I'm sorry, she says quickly. Sorry doesn't fix it. I shout. Mira steps in. Stop. Stay out of it, I say. She's a child, Mira says. She needs to learn, I reply. Not like this, she says. I look at Ava. She's shaking. Not crying. Just frozen. Why are you crying again? I say. She looks at me. And something changes. Her eyes. They don't look scared anymore. They look distant. Like she's already gone. That hits me harder than anything. What? I ask, my voice lower now. She doesn't answer. She just looks at me. Like I'm not her father. Like I'm something else. Something dangerous. Mira steps in front of her. That's enough, she says. I take a step back. The room feels heavy. Too quiet. Too still. No one says anything. No one moves. That night ends in silence. No shouting. No talking. Just distance. Then comes the accident. I'm driving. Alone. My hands tight on the wheel. What am I doing? I mutter. My mind keeps replaying her face. That look. That distance. I didn't mean it, I say. But I did it, I add. A bright light flashes. A loud crash. Everything goes dark. When I wake up, I'm in my bed. I sit up quickly. What? I look around. Same room. Same house. Same everything. I stand up and walk out. Mira is in the kitchen. Ava is on the floor. Drawing. Exactly the same. What's going on? I whisper. Ava looks up. What are you drawing? I ask. She freezes. Then shows me. 3 figures. One far away. My chest tightens. This already happened, I say. Mira looks at me. What? I step back. No, no, this isn't possible. You okay? She asks. I look at her. Then at Ava. Then at my hands. I remember everything, I say. Remember what? Mira asks. What I did, I reply. They both look confused. But I'm not. I know. Every word. Every shout. Every mistake. I don't deserve this, I say. Deserve what? Mira asks. A second chance, I reply. Silence. But this time, feels different. Because now I know something I didn't before. I won't waste this, I say quietly. Mira frowns. What are you talking about? I'm talking about fixing it, I reply. She shakes her head. You always say that. I look at her directly. Not this time, I say. She pauses. Something in my voice makes her stop. You're serious? She asks. Yes, I say. I kneel down in front of Ava. She watches me carefully. I'm sorry, I say. She blinks. Confused. I know I've been wrong, I continue. She doesn't speak. But I'm going to change, I say. Mira crosses her arms. We've heard this before. I stand up. Then watch me, I say. Silence. Heavy. But different. Because this time, I'm not the man I used to be. And I won't be him again. The next morning feels unreal. I stand in the kitchen staring at the same table, the same chairs, the same quiet. But I'm not the same. Good morning, I say carefully. Ava freezes. Just like that. No words. No reaction. Just stillness. That one moment tells me everything. I don't move. I don't raise my voice. I don't say anything else. Mira watches me from across the room. What's going on with you? She asks. I look at her calmly. What do you mean? You're different, she says. Is that a problem? I ask. She narrows her eyes. It depends. On what? I ask. On whether it's real, she replies. I nod slowly. It is. She doesn't look convinced. I'm just tired, I say. She studies my face. Tired of what? Myself, I reply. Silence. Ava quietly walks past me. She keeps her distance. She doesn't even look at me. I watch her go. That's not normal, I say quietly. Mira exhales. It became normal. I look at her. For you? For her, she says. That hits harder than anything. I did that, I say. Yes, she replies. No anger. Just truth. I'm going to fix it, I say. She shakes her head. You don't fix this with words. I know, I reply. Then how? She asks. I'll show you, I say. She doesn't respond. Because she's heard that before. I move to the sink and start cleaning. Mira watches me. You don't have to do that, she says. I want to, I reply. She crosses her arms. Since when? Since now, I say. She doesn't argue. But she doesn't believe me either. Later I walk into the living room. Ava is sitting quietly. Drawing again. I keep my distance this time. I sit on the other side of the room. No pressure. No sudden moves. Just presence. You like drawing? I ask. She doesn't respond. I nod to myself. You're good at it. Still nothing. I don't push. I don't force it. I just sit there. Minutes pass. Silence. But it's not empty. It's heavy. And I feel every second of it. At lunch I cook. Mira walks in. You're cooking now? She asks. Yes, I reply. She looks surprised. You don't cook. I do now, I say. She watches me for a moment. Why? She asks. Because I should have been doing it already, I reply. She doesn't answer. At dinner we sit together. I take a breath. How was school? I ask gently. Ava doesn't respond. She keeps eating. Mira looks at me, then at her. She said it was fine, Mira says. I nod slowly. That's good. But it's not good. It's distance. It's silence. It's damage. Real damage. I look at Ava. She doesn't look back. That hurts. But I don't show it. I won't make this about me. After dinner I clean up. Mira stands beside me. You're trying too hard, she says. I shake my head. No. Then what is this? She asks. This is what I should have been doing, I reply. She studies me. Why now? I pause. Then I say, because I finally understand. Understand what? She asks. What I did, I reply. She looks away. That doesn't change anything. I know, I say. Then why try? She asks. I look at her directly. Because they deserve better. She doesn't speak. That's the first time she doesn't argue. That night I sit alone. No drink. No noise. Just silence. This is what it feels like, I say quietly. To face it. To feel it. To accept it. I stand up and walk down the hallway. Ava's door is closed. I stop in front of it. My hand lifts, but I don't knock. I just stand there. What am I going to say? I whisper. Sorry? I shake my head. That's not enough. Not anymore. I lean against the wall. She's scared of you, I remind myself. Not angry. Not upset. Scared. That's worse. Much worse. I did that, I say. And now I have to fix it. But how? I can't force trust. I can't demand forgiveness. I can't erase the past. I close my eyes. Then what do? I ask myself. The answer is simple. Show up. Every day. No matter what. I take a step back from the door. I won't rush this, I say. I won't force it. I'll earn it. The next morning I wake up early. I make breakfast. Set the table. Stay quiet. Mira walks in. She stops. You're serious, she says. Yes, I reply. She looks at the table. This is new. It shouldn't be, I say. She watches me carefully. You're not angry, she says. I don't need to be, I reply. Why not, she asks. Because anger got me here, I say. She nods slowly. Ava walks in. She sees me. Pauses. Then slowly sits down. She doesn't run away. She doesn't leave. That's something. Small. But real. Good morning, I say softly. She doesn't answer. But she doesn't freeze this time. Progress. Mira notices it too. She looks at me. I don't say anything. I just keep going. Step by step. Moment by moment. No shortcuts. No excuses. Later Mira pulls me aside. If this is real, she says, then don't stop. I won't, I reply. She studies me. You've said that before. I nod. I know. And, she asks. And this time I'm not saying it, I reply. I'm proving it. She stays quiet. Then she says something I didn't expect. Then I'll watch. I nod. That's all I ask. That night I pass Ava's room again. I stop. But this time, I don't raise my hand. I don't pretend. I just stand there and accept the truth. Saying sorry won't fix this, I say quietly. Not anymore. This isn't about words. It's about time. About consistency. About showing her. I'm not that man anymore. And I walk away. Because for the first time, I understand something clearly. This isn't a second chance. It's a test. And I don't deserve to pass it. But I'm going to try anyway. The memories won't stop. I say it quietly, sitting on the edge of my bed. They just keep coming. Every moment. Every word. Every mistake. I close my eyes. And I see it all again. Why are you crying again? I hear myself say. My voice. Sure. Cold. I open my eyes immediately. Stop. But it doesn't stop. It never does. I ignored her, I whisper. I ignored my own daughter. I stand up and pace the room. And I thought I was right. That's the worst part. Not just what I did, but how sure I was while doing it. At work, I sit at my desk staring at the screen. Nothing makes sense. Numbers blur. Words disappear. Ethan. I look up. Daniel is standing there. You look like hell, he says. I nod slightly. I probably deserve worse. He frowns. What did you do? I look away. Nothing, I say. He doesn't move. Don't lie to me, he says. I'm not lying, I reply. You are, he says calmly. I stay quiet. He pulls a chair and sits across from me. What's going on? He asks. I rub my face. I messed up. How bad? He asks. I let out a breath. Bad enough. That's not an answer, he says. I shake my head. I don't know how to explain it. Try, he says. I look at him. Then I say it. I was the villain. He pauses. What? In my own house, I say. He leans back. That's serious. I know, I reply. What did you do? He asks. I swallow. I hurt them. Physically? He asks quickly. No, I say. Worse. He frowns. Worse than that. I made them afraid, I say. Silence. That's not good, he says. I know, I reply. He studies me. And now? Now I remember everything, I say. What do you mean remember? He asks. I shake my head. It's hard to explain. Try anyway, he says. I look at him. I got a second chance, I say. He raises an eyebrow. What? I woke up, and everything was the same, I say. But I remembered what I did. He stares at me. You serious? He asks. Yes, I reply. He leans forward. And you're not messing it up again? No, I say. Good, he replies. I won't, I add. He nods slowly. Then prove it. I will, I say. After work, I don't go home immediately. I drive. No destination. Just movement. I need to see, I say. See what I've done. I park outside Ava's school. I sit there for a moment. Don't do this, I whisper. But I already know I will. I step out of the car. Walk slowly toward the gate. Stay at a distance. I don't want her to see me. Not yet. Kids are playing. Running. Laughing. Normal. Then I see her. Eva. She's sitting alone. On a bench. Quiet. Still. Small. I freeze. That's not normal, I say. Kids pass by her. No one stops. No one talks to her. She's alone, I whisper. And I know why. Not because she wants to be, but because she learned to be. Because of me, I say. My chest tightens. She doesn't trust people. She doesn't open up. She stays quiet. All of it. Because of me. I take a step forward. Then stop. No, I say. She's not ready. I watch her a little longer. She looks down. Drawing again. Always drawing. Always quiet. I did that, I repeat. Then I turn around. And leave. That night I sit at the table. Waiting. Mira notices. You're quiet, she says. I'm thinking, I reply. About what, she asks. About her, I say. She pauses. What about her, she asks. I saw her today, I say. Mira looks at me. Where? School, I reply. Her expression changes. You went there? Yes, I say. Why, she asks. I needed to see, I reply. See what, she asks. The damage, I say. Silence. She was alone, I add. Mira looks down. I know, she says quietly. I look at her. You knew? Yes, she replies. Why didn't you tell me? I ask. She looks up. Would you have listened? I don't answer. Because I know the truth. No, I say. She nods. Exactly. I lean back in my chair. I did that, I say again. Yes, she replies. No anger. Just truth. That hurts more. Later I walk to Ava's room. This time. I don't stop. I knock. Softly. No answer. I knock again. Can I come in? I ask. A quiet voice replies. Okay. I open the door slowly. She's sitting on her bed. Drawing. Of course. I step inside. Keep my distance. Can I sit? I ask. She nods slightly. I sit on the chair. Silence. Heavy. I saw you today, I say. She stiffens. At school, I add. She doesn't look at me. You were sitting alone, I say. No response. I'm sorry, I say softly. Nothing. I mean it, I add. Still nothing. I take a breath. I know I haven't been a good father, I say. Her hand stops moving. I know I scared you, I continue. She looks down. I know I hurt you, I say. Silence. Then I hear it. Okay. Just one word. Quiet. Distant. I look at her. That's it. I ask gently. She nods. I wait. Nothing else comes. No emotion. No warmth. No forgiveness. Just acceptance. Empty acceptance. That didn't fix anything, I whisper. She doesn't respond. I stand up slowly. I'll keep trying, I say. Still nothing. I walk to the door. Pause. Then say one more thing. I'm not giving up. No answer. I step out and close the door. Lean against the wall. That wasn't forgiveness, I say. It wasn't relief. It wasn't healing. It was distance. Cold. Real. And earned. I close my eyes. The past doesn't disappear, I say. It stays. It weighs on you. It reminds you. Every second. Every step. And I know one thing now. I can't erase what I did. But I can face it. And I can carry it. No matter how heavy it gets. Because that weight is mine. Change isn't easy. I say it quietly, tying my shoes early in the morning. It's not instant. I stand up and look at myself. It's painful. I walk into the kitchen and start cooking. Not because I want to impress anyone, because it needs to be done. Mira walks in. "You're up early," she says. "I need to be," I reply. She watches me for a moment. "You don't have to do all this." "I do," I say. "Why?" she asks. "Because I didn't before," I answer. She stays quiet. Ava walks in slowly. She sees me, pauses, then sits down without saying anything. I place the plate in front of her. "Eat while it's warm," I say softly. She nods slightly. No fear, but no warmth either. Still, progress. Mira notices it. She looks at me but doesn't say anything. After breakfast, Ava grabs her bag, then suddenly stops. "I forgot my homework," she says quietly. She looks nervous, like she's waiting for something. Old me would have reacted instantly. "What's wrong with you?" I would have said. "Why are you so careless?" But I don't say any of that. I pick up the notebook from the table. "Let's go," I say. She looks confused. "What?" "I'll take you," I repeat. She blinks. "You're not mad?" she asks. I shake my head. "No." She looks at me like she doesn't understand. And she doesn't, because this is new. We walk to the car. Silence between us. But not heavy. Just unfamiliar. Halfway there she speaks. "Thank you," she says softly. I glance at her. "You're welcome," I reply. That's it. 2 words. But they matter. More than anything. At school she gets out of the car. She hesitates, then looks back. "Bye," she says. I nod. "Have a good day." She walks away. And for the first time, I don't feel like a stranger. Later that day I'm at work. Daniel looks at me. "You look better," he says. "I feel better," I reply. "Progress?" he asks. "Slow," I say. "That's still progress," he replies. I nod. "It's not easy," I say. "It's not supposed to be," he answers. I sit down. I keep thinking about everything. "Good," he says. "Good?" I repeat. "Yeah," he replies. "That means you won't forget." "I don't want to forget," I say. "Then don't," he says. "Use it." I nod slowly. I reply. That evening I come home early. Ava is sitting in the living room, drawing again. I sit nearby. Not too close. Not too far. "Can I see?" I ask. She hesitates, then turns the paper. It's different this time. The 3 figures are closer. Not far apart. My chest tightens. "That's nice," I say. She nods. No fear. Just quiet. Mira walks in. She sees us. Stops. Watches. "You're home early," she says. "I wanted to be," I reply. She looks at Ava. Then at me. Something shifts in her expression. Later that night we sit together. Dinner is quiet. But not cold. Not tense. Just calm. "How was school?" I ask. Ava pauses. Then answers. "It was okay." I nod. "That's good." Mira looks at her. Then at me. She noticed it too. After dinner, Ava goes to her room. Mira stays behind. "You're different," she says. "I'm trying to be," I reply. She studies me carefully. "For how long?" she asks. "As long as it takes," I say. She crosses her arms. "You've said things like this before." "I know," I reply. "And you went back to the same behavior," she adds. "I won't," I say. "How do I know that?" she asks. I pause. Then I answer honestly. "You don't." She stays quiet. "But I know," I continue. "That's not enough," she says. "I know," I reply. "So what is enough?" she asks. "Time," I say. "Consistency. Actions." She looks at me. "Not words?" she asks. "Not anymore," I reply. She nods slowly. "That's true," she says. We stand there in silence. Then she says something unexpected. "I want to believe you." I look at her. "But I don't yet," she adds. "I understand," I say. "And I won't ask you to," I continue. She nods. "That's new," she says. "I'm learning," I reply. She gives a small, almost invisible smile, then turns away. That night I sit alone again. But it feels different now. Not empty. Not heavy. Just quiet. I think about the morning. About the car ride. About that "thank you." Small things. But real. "I saw it," I say quietly. A crack. Not big. Not enough. But something. Something real. I stand up and walk to the mirror. "You're not there yet," I say. "But you're not where you were." That matters. More than anything. I take a deep breath. This is going to take time, I remind myself. A lot of time. And a lot of patience. I nod to myself. I won't rush it. I won't force it. I'll earn it. Slowly. Painfully. But properly. Because this time, I'm not trying to look better. I'm trying to be better. And for the first time, I see a small chance. Not for forgiveness. Not yet. But for something else. Something stronger. Something real. A beginning. Just when things started getting better. I whisper it to myself as I walk into the house. Everything fell apart again. Mira is standing in the living room, holding something. Her hands are shaking. What is this? She asks. I stop. I already know. Where did you find that? I ask. That's not an answer, she says. I take a breath. It's old. She laughs bitterly. Old? Ava steps into the room. Quiet. Watching. Were you going to leave us? Mira asks. Her voice cracks. I look at her. That was before. But you still did it, she replies. I stay silent. There's a signature here, she says, holding the papers up. I see that, I reply. You signed it, she says. Yes, I admit. Ava takes a small step back. I notice. It hits me instantly. No, I say softly. It's not what you think. Then what is it? Mira asks. I run a hand through my hair. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking enough to leave, she says. I didn't leave, I reply. You were going to, she fires back. I don't answer. Because she's right. That's the truth, she says. Yes, I say quietly. Ava's voice comes from behind her. Why? I look at her. I was angry, I say. That's it, she asks. No, I reply. I was wrong. She looks down. That doesn't help, she says. I take a step forward. Ava? She steps back. That movement stops me. Completely. Don't, she says softly. I freeze. Mira looks between us. Do you see what you've done? She asks me. I see it, I reply. Do you feel it? She asks. Yes, I say. Because we've been living it, she says. I nod. I know, I reply. No, you don't, she says. I do now, I say. She shakes her head. Now isn't enough. I'm trying, I say. Trying doesn't erase this, she replies. I'm not trying to erase it, I say. Then what are you doing? She asks. I'm trying to be better, I answer. She laughs again. After planning to leave? I look at her. I didn't go through with it. But you would have, she says. I don't respond. Because she's right again. Ava speaks. Quiet. But clear. People don't change that fast. Those words, they hit deeper than anything. I look at her. She's not angry. She's not scared. She's distant. Again. You're right, I say. Both of them look at me. I can't change overnight, I continue. Then what is this? Mira asks. This is me trying, I reply. Trying what? She asks. To fix what I broke, I say. You broke everything, she replies. I nod. I know. Then how do you fix that? She asks. I don't know yet, I admit. Silence. That answer isn't comforting. But it's honest. Ava looks at me. Forgetting homework doesn't fix this, she says. I know, I reply. Cooking doesn't fix this, she adds. I know, I say again. Then what does? She asks. I look at her. Time, I say. Consistency. Proof. She stays quiet. You haven't shown enough, she says. I know, I reply. And I might not believe you, she adds. I understand, I say. Mira looks at me carefully. You're not arguing, she says. There's nothing to argue, I reply. You're not defending yourself, she adds. I don't deserve to, I say. That stops her. You really think that? She asks. Yes, I reply. She looks at Ava. Then back at me. You've changed, she says slowly. I'm trying to, I reply. That doesn't mean we trust you, she says. I'm not asking you to, I say. Ava frowns slightly. Then what are you asking? She asks. I take a breath. For a chance to prove it, I say. Silence. Mira lowers the papers slightly. A chance? She repeats. Yes, I say. You already had one, she says. I nod. And I wasted it. And now you want another? She asks. I need to earn it, I reply. She studies me. How? She asks. By not stopping, I say. By not going back. By showing up every day. Ava looks at me. You might still leave, she says. I won't, I reply. You said that before, she says. I nod. I know. And you still sign those papers, she says. Yes, I admit. Silence again. Heavy. Real. I can't promise you'll believe me, I say. But I can promise I won't stop trying. Mira exhales slowly. That's not enough right now, she says. I know, I reply. Ava looks down. I don't trust you, she says. Those words hurt. But I don't react. I understand, I say. She looks up, surprised. You're not mad? She asks. No, I reply. Why? She asks. Because you have every reason not to, I say. She stays quiet. Mira places the papers on the table. This changes things, she says. I know, I reply. It makes everything harder, she adds. I know, I repeat. She looks at me. And you're still going to try? She asks. Yes, I say. No matter what? She asks. No matter what, I reply. She nods slowly. We'll see, she says. Ava doesn't say anything. She just walks away. Back to her room. I don't stop her. I don't follow. I just stand there. Mira looks at me one last time. Don't prove us wrong again, she says. I won't, I reply. She leaves. And I'm alone. Again. I sit down slowly. Look at the papers. My signature. My past. Still here. Still real. This is what I did, I say quietly. And now I have to live with it. No excuses. No denial. Just truth. I lean back and close my eyes. They don't trust you, I remind myself. And they shouldn't. I take a deep breath. This is going to take longer. Harder. More painful. But I don't move. I don't quit. Because now I understand something clearly. It's not about convincing them. It's about becoming someone they can believe. Even if it takes everything. Even if it takes time I don't have. And that's when it hits me. A thought. Cold. Real. I might run out of time. Before they ever believe me. And that fear. Is worse than anything else. I got the call during the afternoon. The school number flashed on my phone. Is this the father of Ava? The voice asked. Yes. What happened? I said. There was a pause. She collapsed in class. We've called an ambulance. My heart stopped. Collapsed? What do you mean collapsed? Please come to the hospital immediately, the woman said. I didn't even reply properly. I just grabbed my keys. I'm coming. I'm coming right now. I kept repeating it as I ran out the door. No, 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 not her. On the drive, my hands shook on the steering wheel. Stay with me, Ava. Just stay with me. I kept talking to myself. It's my fault. Everything is my fault. When I reached the hospital, I rushed inside. Ava? Where is she? My daughter, Ava? A nurse pointed down the hallway. Emergency room. I ran. Please be okay. Please be okay. A doctor came out. Are you Ava's guardian? Yes. I'm her father. What happened? I asked quickly. He looked serious. She experienced severe stress and emotional pressure. She fainted from exhaustion. My legs almost gave out. Stress? From what? She's just a child. He replied softly, sometimes emotional strain is enough. I whispered, my fault, it's all my fault. He said, she is stable now. You can see her. I walked into the room slowly. Ava? She was lying there, pale and small in the hospital bed. I sat beside her carefully. Hey, I'm here. Her hand felt so light when I held it. I'm sorry, I said. I'm so sorry for everything. I kept holding her hand. I should have protected you. I should have listened. The machines beeped softly. I leaned closer. Please forgive me, even if you never can. Hours passed. I stayed there. I'm not leaving you, okay? I'm right here. Suddenly her fingers moved. Ava? I whispered. Her eyes slowly opened. You're still here? I leaned forward. I told you I wouldn't leave. She stared at me for a long time. Why? I shook my head. Because you're my daughter. Her voice was weak. Okay. I held her hand tighter. I'm not going anywhere. Ever. She closed her eyes again. Don't go. I won't, I said. Not now. Not ever. I sat there thinking. I wasted so much time, but not anymore. I whispered to myself, even if it takes everything, I will fix this. I'll earn your trust, I said softly. Even if it takes my whole life. She didn't answer, but her hand stayed in mine. I stayed there watching her breathe. This time, I won't fail. On the way I kept whispering, just breathe, she's going to be okay. I slammed my hand on the steering wheel. Why did I ignore her? Why did I keep pushing her? At a red light, I muttered, if anything happens to her, I won't forgive myself. When I arrived again near the entrance, I asked the guard, emergency room which way? He pointed. Straight ahead, sir. I said, thank you, but my voice broke halfway. Inside the air felt heavy. I kept repeating, please let her be okay, please let her be okay. A nurse tried to stop me. Sir, you need to calm down. I replied, I can't calm down. That's my daughter in there. She softened. I understand. Please wait here. I said, no, I need to see her. I need to see her now. When the doctor spoke again, I asked, is she in danger? Tell me the truth. He answered, she is stable, but she needs rest and emotional safety. I said, I failed her, didn't I? He didn't answer immediately. Then he said, you can still be there for her now. I whispered, I don't deserve that chance. I walked back into the room again. Ava, it's me again. Her eyes were half open. You're loud. I let out a weak laugh. Yeah. I'm probably the last thing you want right now. She said, I heard voices. I thought I was alone. I said, you were never alone. I'm right here. She asked, did I scare you? I nodded. You scared me more than anything in my life. She looked away. I didn't mean to. I said quickly, no, don't say that. It's not your fault. She whispered, I just got tired. My throat tightened. I know you did. I held her hand again. I should have noticed sooner. She said softly, you're still here? I replied, yes. I'm still here and I'm staying. She asked, for how long? I said, as long as you need. Silence filled the room. Then I said, I know I hurt you before, but I want to change that. She didn't respond, just listened. I continued, I can't erase the past, but I can stop it from repeating. Her fingers squeezed mine slightly. I whispered, that's enough for me right now. I leaned closer and said, even if the world turns away from me, I won't turn away from you. She closed her eyes again and said quietly, okay. I stayed by her bedside longer, watching the slow rise and fall of her chest. I'm not going to leave even if they ask me to. A nurse returned and said, visiting hours will end soon. I replied, then I'll wait outside the door. She said, sir, you need rest too. I shook my head. I don't deserve rest yet. Ava whispered, don't go outside. I immediately said, I won't. I'm right here. She opened her eyes. Promise? I leaned in closer. I promise. I'm staying close. Her grip tightened faintly. Okay. I felt something shift inside me. This isn't about fixing everything in one day, it's about not running away anymore. I looked at her and said softly, you're going to be okay, and I'm going to prove I can be better. She didn't answer, but she didn't let go either. I stayed there, silent, just holding her hand, refusing to move away.